So, when I look at my fragrances, when I stand back and look at my fragrances, I sort of see them in groups. Like I'll have like a group over here that I rank like my least favorite to my favorite, but they're like gourmands, like Hugo Boss bottled intense eau de parfum, that peach pie, apple pie, peach pie to me, that kind of fragrance. Angel Man by Mugler, those kind of fragrances, gourmand. And then I have like a masculine slash barbershop fragrance that I rank my least favorite to my favorite, like Rive Cache Pour Homme, Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, etc. Those types of fragrances in another group. And then I'll have a group over here that I rank least favorite to my favorite, which is like summer aquatic citrus type of fragrances. Um, Forged by Nautica, St. Bart's by Tommy Bahama, all those. And then I have a section over here that I rank um, that's just like a general, beautiful, mass pleasing, can't go wrong smell. Like Sauvage. Well, I don't like Sauvage. Um, but Blue de Chanel, all those kind of fragrances. This just mass pleasing, smells really, really good. There's two in that group that shares the number one spot. Dylan Blue Pour Homme and this La Nuit de l'Homme Eau de Toilette. This and Dylan Blue Pour Homme share that number one spot. Is this as far as like just in general mass pleasing, beautiful, can't go wrong smell. These two are in that group, and um, I know most reviewers have already did a review on this because it's pretty popular in the fragrance community. But I wore this the other day and I was like, I want to talk about this and give my opinion on it, even though it's going to be basically the same as most people. But I just still wanted to talk about it because I love to talk about fragrances. This is the Eau de Toilette. Pretty cool bottle in it. Most Yves Saint Laurent bottles I like. There's a couple that come out in the last couple of years that I don't really particularly care for, like the Y and all the Y flankers. I don't really like those bottles too much, but this one I really like. Sort of dark and it gets more clear as it gets to the top. Really excellent, good atomizer. Everything is like really high quality. Cap fits really nice and tight. YSL Yves Saint Laurent on the cap. Really, really nice presentation. I think it's beautiful to look at. But the notes to this are lemon, bergamot, cardamom, black pepper, lavender, coumarin, vetiver, tonka bean, woods, and cedar. I wore this the other day and I was like, I really want to talk about this fragrance because, and then I started thinking about what I'm going to say in this review. And I was like, okay, what do I like about it? And I was like, this is just overall one of the most beautiful smells that I have in my entire collection. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing unique or different that makes it stand out. What makes it stand out is just the smell itself. It is so beautiful, so comforting. It's very sensual. Um, I get most of these notes that I just read. This is very, very well blended. But the three main notes that I get from this fragrance is the sweet and spicy cardamom, which is my favorite spice, besides cinnamon, and a really beautiful natural lavender. Now, the lavender doesn't overpower the cardamom or vice versa. They're pretty equal as far as like what I smell. It's like 50% beautiful natural lavender, a little bit sweet, and then the spicy sweet cardamom. They're sort of equal as far as the smell. And then there's the tonka bean. And the tonka bean, the way they use it in here, the way it's um, blended into this fragrance, it gives it sort of a creamy, rounded um, smell throughout the whole composition of the fragrance. Those are the three main things I get, but I do get a little bit of black pepper and a couple of other things, but those are the three main things that I get from this fragrance. And when I was thinking about this review, I was like, is there anything negative I can say about this? And I thought about it all last night and this morning, and I was like, I can't think of anything. This is blended so well. There's no synthetics whatsoever that I get from this. Everything seems to smell really natural. Blending is perfect. The composition is perfect. All the notes in here work really well together to support each other and just create overall a beautiful fragrance. And I am extremely pleased in this fragrance. This is the Eau de Toilette. Um, yeah, if I had to rate this just the smell alone from like 1 to 10, I would have to give this at least like an 8.5 or a 9 as far as the smell in general, because there's nothing wrong with this fragrance. I mean, everything is perfect. That's why it's up there with Dylan Blue. I love Dylan Blue too. Um, this is far superior to Bleu de Chanel and all those other general mass pleasing fragrances as far as I'm concerned, because this has such a beautiful lavender and spicy cardamom, and it's creamy and it's sensual and it's cozy and it makes me feel good. I love this fragrance. This is awesome fragrance. This is pretty popular in the fragrance community, and I agree with everybody that gives it really high rating. The only thing negative that I heard about this fragrance is the performance. And I usually don't agree with too many people in the fragrance community about a fragrance, even other fragrance reviewers. Sometimes my opinion is completely opposite of what everybody else says. But as far as this fragrance, I pretty much agree with everybody in the fragrance community about how much I love this fragrance and what a great fragrance it is. But the only thing that I've ever heard negative about this fragrance is the performance. And I actually agree with everybody as far as that is too. Usually I get better performance out of a fragrance than most people because I just have that kind of skin. Plus, I always keep my skin moisturized all the time. So I usually get really good longevity. But as far as this, it's like 5 hours, 5.5 hours max as far as like the longevity of this fragrance. And it's so disappointing. That's the only thing that I would change about this fragrance is the performance. And I don't usually try to think about the performance and longevity too much in the fragrance because there's going to be some fragrances going to last longer than others, and I'm okay with that. But the thing about this fragrance, I think it smells so good that I don't want it to die off in 5 hours. I want it to keep going because I enjoy the smell so much. It makes me feel so good. And after about 5 hours, and I know it's starting to like die off, it actually makes me a little bit sad. I get really disappointed and sad when it starts dying off because I don't want the smell to end. That's how beautiful this smell is. I don't want it to go away. I want this thing to last at least 8 hours, which it doesn't. 3 more hours, man, this would be like maybe a 10 out of 10 as far as fragrance. If it just was giving me like 3 more hours so I can enjoy it a little bit more. But it doesn't. But this is freaking awesome fragrance, and I highly, highly recommend this. If you're interested, I'll put the link in the description on where you can get this. It's actually, considering what this fragrance is, I think the price point is a pretty fair price, but I'll find the cheapest or least expensive place where you can get this, and I'll put that link in the description if you're interested. But yeah, man, you everybody needs this in their entire collection. Males, females, old, young, everybody. This goes for everybody. Extremely versatile in every way. So if you don't have this and you can afford it, you should get this. I'm serious. Anyway, I will be back later on in the next day or two, and I'll talk about something else. Maybe something I love, and maybe something that I'm going to say, this really sucks, like my last review. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.